When did I realize my mute student had been talking the whole time? I was cleaning paintbrushes after teaching my art class when the principal walked in with a small boy. She said, "This is Kai. He's joining your class tomorrow. He's been unable to speak since birth. Rare neurological condition." She handed me this thick medical folder full of documentation. His parents enrolled him here hoping art might help him express himself. The kid looked really pale and way too skinny for an 8-year-old. When I smiled at him trying to be welcoming, he actually flinched backward, which seemed weird, but I figured he was just shy. The principal mentioned, his mother insists on staying for the first class. She's very protective. The next morning, Kai's mother showed up dressed like she was going to a business meeting, not dropping her kid at art class. She immediately announced, "If he seems upset, call me immediately. He has special dietary needs and can only eat what I pack for him." She watched him unpack his lunch with this intensity that felt excessive, but I thought maybe she was just an anxious parent. When Kai started painting without me even giving instructions, he made a gray house with purple grass. His mother smiled and said, "He's so creative," but her smile never reached her eyes. Every class, Kai painted that gray house but with colors that made zero sense. Purple grass one day, orange sky the next, then an indigo dog that nobody asked about. My other students kept pointing it out and laughing, saying things like, "Your grass is purple," but Kai never responded or changed anything. Even when I gently corrected him and showed him green paint for grass, he'd nod but then keep using purple anyway. He just kept painting with this intense focus that seemed strange for a kid his age. After 3 weeks of classes, I noticed he looked thinner, which didn't make sense for such a short time. He could barely hold the paintbrush steady anymore. By the 4th week, the kid could barely sit up straight in his chair. I asked his mother about it when she picked him up. She explained, "The doctors say it's normal progression for his condition." I tried calling child services after that conversation, but they said without bruises or concrete evidence, they couldn't investigate. The paintings kept getting stranger with pink grass and lavender skies and emerald suns, while Kai kept looking worse with these dark circles under his eyes that looked almost black. After he painted one with burgundy clouds and ultraviolet rain, he didn't show up for an entire week. When he finally came back, his mother was basically holding him up as they walked in. She said sweetly, they adjusted his medication, but the second she left, Kai grabbed his paintbrush and started painting frantically like he was running out of time. I'd been saving all his paintings in my closet, and now I had 15 of them. After school one day, I spread them all out on my desk and started looking at every single wrong color because the pattern was too consistent to be random. Purple appeared 8 times, orange 6 times, always on specific objects and never on the house itself. The principal walked by and asked what I was doing. I told her this kid was dying in front of us and showed her the paintings. That's when my phone rang, and it was Kai's mother with this syrupy voice saying Kai wouldn't be coming back because they were considering permanent hospitalization. I stared at those paintings knowing I was missing something crucial, and if I didn't figure it out soon, that kid was going to disappear forever. I wrote down just the first letters of each wrong color, and suddenly everything clicked when I saw it spelled poison. I knocked over my coffee reaching for the next painting and saw please. I could barely focus as I decoded the next few: help, then hurt, then the one that made me panic: tomorrow gone. The medical condition was fake and they'd been poisoning him at home to keep him silent. That's why she controlled his food so strictly. That's why he kept getting sicker between classes. I was crying and dialing 911 at the same time, screaming into the phone, "A child is being systematically poisoned by his parents." He spelled it out in paintings. "They're taking him tomorrow to let him die." The dispatcher heard how hysterical I was and sent everyone immediately. When they arrived, I was pacing around clutching the paintings and sobbing, "Look what he's been trying to tell us." The detective looked at the paintings and the color code I'd figured out, and his whole expression changed. They raced to Kai's house while I stood there praying we weren't too late. They found him unconscious in his bedroom. His system was full of sedatives and household chemicals they'd been feeding him for years. His parents got life sentences for attempted murder and child abuse. Kai survived, and after months of therapy, he can talk now and still paints but uses normal colors.